Well, howdy folks, welcome back to Ray County and the Ray County project. We're down here in field 36. This is not one of our fields, this is actually another farmer's field, and we're doing some contract work. We've got our worker for the day today, Jeffrey Munro. He is out there lending us a hand in getting some ploughing done. And as I said, this is a contract. This came through from the baling contractor. He gave us a call after our chat and he said, I've got a contract come up. It's a ploughing one, if you're keen. So we need to get back and get planting, but we had offer of help from Jeffrey and had nothing for him to do with the planting. It's just going to be us down there running that. So I thought, what better chance than to make a little bit of money, get him down here and get him into this field and get ploughing. It's a pretty big field. It's just over 30 acres. It's Walter's field. Obviously had corn in it previously. I'm not sure what he wants to get planted, but obviously a bit like us, he's in a hurry and needs to get some work done. This weather has not been kind to him either, and he's a little bit behind. So we're down here doing this. I think we're going to get about 30 grand out of this contract, which is kind of impressive. That will be a big help on our finances because we need to get to about 60 grand to be able to pay off all our debts for this month. And as you can see, we're on 30 and we've still got to go buy some seed and fertilizer. So we might have to get out and try and do another one yet. Who knows? But we're going to leave Jeffrey here. He is into it. I just wanted to make sure he was all set up and running and comfortable with the tractor and everything like that. Seems to be doing a pretty good job so far. Getting across that hill, yeah, a little bit of power, a little bit of lacking power going through that spot there, but it does pull pretty hard, that plough. But there we go. We're going to leave him there, and we are going to head on over. We've got our pickup over this way. We're going to head on down to the co-op, down to the seed co-op, and pick up some seed and fertilizer. So we will see you when we get down there. So all going to plan, there should be in the shed here on the right where the seed is, there should be a, here it is right in the back, a seed tender for us to pick up. So I'm hoping we can get some seed in one hopper, probably corn seed. I think we're going to start off with the corn and then we'll do the soybeans, but I want to try and get some corn in half of it and some fertilizer in the other. So we'll just pull ourselves back out here. We'll just open the cover up and just double check that because I haven't actually experimented around with it. Let's just have a look. Alright, there we go. So it is a double hopper. So what we'll do is we'll park this here. We'll grab the forklift, grab our seed and try and get it put in here and see what happens. So we've bought 2 totes. Not sure if that's going to be enough. I haven't even calculated how much seed we're going to need. Let's just get this lifted up. That's problematic, isn't it? It won't actually go high enough to get into the hopper. Let's just have a look. Is there somewhere we can park? Maybe we can go and park the trailer down just off the edge of that bank over there. That might give us enough height to be able to do that. Let's just go and have a look. Yeah, let's see if we can bring the forklift up here, the trailer down here, and whether we can get and load into it or not. Let's see. Fingers crossed this is going to work. Hopefully we can get close enough, even with that wall in the way. No. Alright, back to the drawing board. Let's see if we can figure out another way to get this filled. Well, the store guy, the storeman said they had a bigger forklift which was over in the fertilizer shed, which is what we've got here, and this has a much bigger lift. Just if we can get it into the box, there we go. So we should have a look here. There you go, that one will lift up, no worries whatsoever. We should be able to. There we go, get that over top of the loading point, and there goes our next problem. They're not split hoppers, it's just a single hopper. So we can't have both seed and fertilizer in this. Right. Well, we need to get this planted. I think we might just put seed on, not fertilizer at this stage, purely because we need to go through and fertilize the wheat. If you recall, we weren't able to fertilize that at planting either. So maybe we'll just focus on getting some seed into the ground. And then we'll go through and using the sprayer or the spreader, we'll put some solid or liquid fertilizer on at a later stage. But let's get this all back to the farm, get this second one in. I might, now that I've seen the capacity of it, and get that view so we can see what we're doing. Now that I've seen the capacity of it, I might look to buy another box just to make the most of being down here just to avoid having to take too many trips back and forth. But we'll get that sorted out, and then we're going to get started on some planting. Well, there we go, we've got 4,752 litres of seed, so we're going to cross our fingers and hope that that is going to be enough to get at least the corn planted. And then we've got the soybeans to worry about, but corn's the first problem. I've got 2 fields of that to get in. I'm hoping to get that done before it starts raining in 2 hours. So we need to get back. We need to make hay while the sun shines, figuratively. We're not actually making hay. We are going to plant some corn. So let's get back to the farm, get everything set up and underway. Right, so we're here at the yard now. I'm just going to try and maybe back this in here just a touch, because we need to be able to get this auger out, which we'll get the cover open there now. Figure out the right things to press here to get the auger out. There it is. Alright, so that should be us filling up. So we'll get this turned off. No need to run the engine. Now we're in this funny position, and due to the equipment we've inherited, we've got the John Deere there on our seeder, our planter there. So we've got the 2117 CCS planter. It's about a 7.4 meter wide planter. We'll do our soybeans and our corn, but it's not, or this tractor, the 7810, is not actually powerful enough to pull it. We're going to actually have to put it on the back of the Ford, which seems like a bit of overkill, but we're working with the equipment that we inherited when we took over this farm. We haven't replaced any of this. We can't afford to replace any of this, so we're just having to deal with what we have been dealt. So we'll use the John Deere around the yard just to move it around and maneuver it and things like that, and get it all set up, and then we'll swap it over onto the Ford, and hopefully it will be good to go. Alright, there we go, we've got ourselves filled up 1,135 litres of corn in there, corn seed at least. So, now that we've got that done, we'll get everything changed over. It is a shame we don't have fertiliser, but it is what it is. We're just going to have to deal with that. We'll get this parked, get the Ford unhooked there from the Landau, and get things up and moving. Now, reminder, we're putting corn into these 2 front fields, left and right side of the drive, and the one over the back there. Which you can just see, that will be our soybean field. So we'll make a start, and probably this one here on the right I think is going to be the best place to start off. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Right, park this in here, get it out of the way. We do know it's going to rain in a wee while. I'm going to jump in the Ford and get started. Like I said, it does feel a little bit excessive having this running this planter, but it is what we've got. So let's get ourselves into here. Now we're going to set ourselves up with some GPS, running that around the edge of the field. I'm going to start off with the headlands. I know there's always conjecture about whether you should do headlands first or last, or what the story is, but let's power that up. We will drop that down and just slowly go forward. Let's see a change of texture there behind us, but we will, before we go too much further, power that off again. Go and just have a look at our seed bed, make sure everything's looking pretty good here behind us. Alright, there we go. Which interestingly, it's telling us our nitrogen's good on here, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it is telling us we've got corn in here. Yeah, growing corn. So there we go, that's a good start. Right, let's jump up in here, get our steering assist all set up so we can get going and make a start. Chop into it. And there we go, we're off and moving, corn going into the ground. This is another good milestone here for us. This is the big money crop, this is the cash crop, this is the one we are going to bank the future of the farm on. The wheat will be great, the straw will be great, the soybeans will be great, but as is evident from last season, with a pretty average prepared field of corn, we made a decent amount. So with a couple of good fields of corn, hopefully we can make a whole lot more. So here we go, we're into it. Let's get going. We're just going to chop into this field. Hopefully we're not going to go through too much seed. It's not going down too quickly, which is a positive. We do have variable seed rate set to auto, so that is up and going as well. So yeah, things are looking positive. Things are on the up. So enough talking, let's get into it. here we are rolling through just about the last little bit. I know there's a little section just behind us we need to turn around and go and tackle, but that is going to be our first field of corn all planted, and I think I definitely overdid it on the seed that we purchased. We've only used, goodness, not much, a couple hundred litres, which has kind of surprised me actually. I thought we would have used much more in here than we have, but there we go, that's what's been used. Now I'm just trying to find this little section here. I think it's just here. Hard to make out with the different ground textures we've got, but we will double check the map once we've finished. There we go, I think that's us. So we'll turn that off, power that down, let's just have a look and see how we've done. And there we go, look at that. Can't see anywhere. Turn off the green. There's a few little bits. But the green covers it all as well as it could. So that's a good start. Field 26 is now done, and that's probably the hardest one to do just because of the awkward shapes and things like that. So we're going to bowl through into 29. I do need to top up with diesel on the way through. It's not getting too low, but I just want to make sure we don't run out. Don't want to have that being a cause of a problem as we're racing this weather. The downside is that that field did take us about an hour to do, or a little bit, just a little bit under an hour, tad under an hour, and we've got a bigger field to go into, and the rain's meant to be here at 6, and we're now 10 to 5, so I'm not feeling too confident that we're going to be able to get into the soybeans today, but we will see how we go. Right, full of diesel. We don't need to get any more seed, we're just going to carry on and jump straight into this field and get into it. We'll pull in, sort out our guidance steering, our steering assist, and get planting. Definitely going to be an easy one to do. Big long passes and a pretty regular shape at that. We'll power things up and we should be good to go. There we are. Steering assist turned on. Doesn't work quite around the headlands as well as you might hope, but there we go. Can manually do that a little bit. And yeah, we're cracking into it. Making some good progress. Now we have been keeping an eye up there as well on the plowing contract, how Jeff's getting on over there. He's just over a third through, so he's doing a pretty good job. It does mean there's another couple of hours though, because once again he's been going for a little bit longer than we have to only be a third through. So hopefully he can carry on in the rain, because we need to get that contract finished in the same day, or we will be running out of money. So yeah, fingers crossed he can keep going, but we are going to keep going as well here with the planting. I know it's a bit slow and repetitive, but it's just a job, and it's an essential job we need to do here on the farm. That's just what farming's about. So let's keep going, just keep moving. for better or worse, we've carried on. The rain came in a bit earlier than I was expecting it to, but we have managed to soldier on. Haven't had any issues with the planter. You can see the tyres and that have got a bit of mud on them, but the road cleaners all been doing their job, and we haven't had any noticeable issues or anything like that in the planter. So we've carried on going as long as we could, but it does mean we're not going to get into this field next door and get the soybeans going, because this rain's actually lasted for longer than I was expecting to. Thought it would have been gone before now. So we do only have a pass and a bit left down here, maybe even less than that, and we'll be done. So we're just going to carry on, get this last little bit done, and then we're going to get the planter put in the shed so we can keep it out of whatever more rain there is to come. But feeling pretty happy to have got all of this corn in. Now got a bit of an update from over at the field. We're 62% of the way through getting that ploughing done, so not too much left to go. I think onto the headlands around there, which, as we know, headlands do take a lot longer than you'd expect, and that is about all I've got left to do over there, which is good. But yeah, that's us. We're going to carry on. We'll catch up with you when we're back in the shed and got everything put away. But corn just about all finished being planted, which is great. Well, there we go. That's everything back to here into the shed. We've got the seed tender in as well, so at least it's out of the rain now and not getting too wet. We do still have some seed in there. We've got some seed in here as well. We're going to have to get the corn seed out and put the soybean seed in, but we've got some changes in that we need to go and make here on the row units and everything like that. So another reason we're going to run out of time to get any beans planted tonight, other than the weather as well. Jeffrey's still going. We're going to go for a drive actually over and just see how he's tracking on that ploughing, because we actually need the money for that contract to come in before we tick over into May, because we'll have another loan repayment, we'll have another hire purchase on all the equipment that was bought before we turned up on the farm. So we need to make sure we've got the money to cover that. So fingers crossed we do. Bearing in mind, we do still have some soybeans, but I don't think it's worth selling them. We'll just check the market and just make sure it's not worth selling some soybeans now. So there you go. You can see we've got 60,000 litres of soybeans. If we sold them today, we'd get 24 grand. If we wait until July, we can get 32. So I think we'll hold off for a little bit longer. That 8 grand is quite a lot of money to us at the moment, even though having some cash would be kind of nice. So we'll leave those sitting in the bin. We'll worry about that another day. As it is, it'd be too wet to load them out anyhow. We wouldn't be able to load them out without them getting all wet and everything out of the bins. Anyhow, let's grab to pick up and go for a drive over, see how Jeffrey's getting on. Just making our way down here into the field where Jeffrey's busy ploughing. In fact, I can just make him out over there, just underneath that tree. So not quite on his headlands yet, I don't think. But he certainly has finished a big chunk of the field. We'll jump out. In fact, we're not going to jump out just yet. We're going to wait for him to get around here, back on these headlands before we go in and see how he's getting on. I don't fancy getting any wetter than I need to. Right, here comes Jeffrey heading around, so we're going to jump out and make the mad dash over. Hopefully he's going to stop and we will jump up and in. Well, you can certainly tell it's wet out here. Look at that mud building up on those tyres, but the plough is still doing a fantastic job ripping through this field, getting it all ready so that the owner can get in and get planting. Like we've said a couple of times in the last few episodes, the weather has not been on our sides this spring in Ray County. It's been a bit of a tough one, so we're having to make do in some situations we might not have normally worked in, just to try and get the crops in. So fingers crossed we're not going to pay the penalty for that later on in the year when it comes harvest time, but you've got to do what you've got to do to get the crops into the ground. So we're going to leave it there. We're going to hang out with Jeffrey for a while, let him carry on enjoying some time here in the Massey, get this field finished. Probably another 45 minutes or so I would imagine it's going to take to get this all done, get around these headlands, and that'll be this all taken care of. When next episode we will be back, and I imagine we're going to be in May, and we will be planting some soybeans. Hopefully we've got some money in the bank account. Hopefully we'll have some more contracts we can take on. Hopefully some pop up, get some tillage work done. But we'll also need to try and figure out a way to get some fertiliser both onto our wheat as well as onto the corn that we've planted. Of course, soybeans not so nitrogen hungry, so we can not worry about those too much. But that is the plan for the next time around. If you'd like to come along and be a helper here on the farm at Ray County, please drop me a message down in the comments below, and we'll see if we can get you along to give us a hand. But for this episode, that is us all done and dusted. Jeffrey's struggling a little bit to get turned around towards these articulated tractors. But we're going to leave things here. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll catch you in the next one.